Hello, friends and training partners. Welcome to episode 12 of the Adaptive Podcast. I am Len. I'm here with Elijah and Ed. We have a great show for you this week. A lot of cool stuff. We got some great announcements. We're going to go back to advanced belt reflections, and we have really great other videos to share with you this week. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, please comment in the comment section below. And as always, the podcast would not be possible without Radji Barret Jiu Jitsu Academy. If you're cool, you can train here. Please check his website out at RadjiBarretJiu-Jitsu.com and check him out on Instagram at Radji Barret Jiu Jitsu. And be sure to check out our website and all of our gear at AdaptiveJiu-Jitsu.com. We have really great brand new rash guards that just dropped yesterday. Be sure to check them out on the website. They're really awesome. They perform well. We tested them out before we actually decided to go with this product, and we know it's something that you guys will really love and enjoy. And we also have an announcement today for any of our loyal customers who are all of our training partners so far, and you guys are great. So with that being said, we have a really great show coming your way, and we will get started in just a second.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, guys.
All right.
All right, we're back. We're doing it again.
All right,
12th time.
all right.
Pretty crazy. 12 episodes.
It's like we finished our first season. We're about to go on to the second season.
We got renewed for a second season.
That's great.
Yeah, that's really great. You know, thank you guys for committing to this alongside of me and each other,
Man.
Yeah, man.
Good
and all of our
times.
training partners. I mean, we love it.
We're gonna do this if no one watches anyway.
We're close to that as it is.
Oh, that's good.
No, but it's really awesome. We've been getting amazing feedback from everybody at the gym, everybody outside of the gym as well, who has listened to our show. I've had some friends from work check us out, subscribe. So we're doing our part.
You're all too kind. You're all too kind. Thank
We love you. So what have we got for you guys today? We're going to do advanced belt reflections. And really, that's our biggest thing. Right?
Yeah, I guess it'd be like the transition from your first belt from white to blue. And I think we're going to talk about like what it meant for us and like what it means for others as well. And just kind of like, you know, I think it's interesting because a lot of people drop off, you know, when they first like get their blue belt. That's usually like if you get like halfway through your blue belt or purple, it's like you're in it for the long run.
Yeah.
You know, but like, you know, sometimes it's a big milestone for a lot of people too. You know, it's like, because usually it takes like a year and a half. If you're consistent, you know. And I think when you get to that, it's like, oh man, that first feeling to like be promoted, it's like a pretty awesome feeling, you know. You feel like, because you had to work hard to get it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like either
because you get your ass kicked at white at every turn. It's like no matter what, it's an achievement. That's why it's special to get that first, you know, belt out of the way, because it's like you know. You had to go through some adversity. I don't care who you are. Everyone has to go through some adversity, especially at white. You know?
Yeah. And for, you know, for somebody listening to this with this segment, you know, it's really about us coming together as a community, reflecting so that we can further improve our environment. Discussing what you're going through, what you're dealing with, your victories, your losses, your strengths, your weaknesses, you know, spending that time reflecting with each other, you know, and it's not just jiu-jitsu. Like we spend plenty of time on the mats and we have conversations. It's therapy too. So spending the time reflecting on the journey together, I think allows us to be better connected, even in the actual jiu-jitsu training environment. You know how to push each other differently.
You're just talking about the camaraderie.
Yes,
Yeah,
like the complete connection that
Dude,
you get
I
from
think
it.
it's the closest thing. It sounds crazy and funny at the same time, but I think it's like the closest thing to like war soldiers, bro, that go through that like trauma together. And obviously it's to a lesser extent, but we're beating the shit out of each other. And we fucking love each other for it. You know what I mean? And try to raise each other up. So it's like,
it's special. Like you don't have to inflict damage the way you do in like, boxing, or if you are doing Muay Thai or kickboxing. There's a lot more.
People can handle it, but the long-term damage from that sucks, like in boxing. It's like, all right, jiu-jitsu, the longevity is obviously leaps and bounds above any other combat sport besides maybe like wrestling. But I don't know, even wrestling, you can't do that forever. You could do jiu-jitsu into your 60s.
Yep. The gentle art.
Yeah.
Gentle art.
It is the gentle art.
Yeah. So
of folding people in clothes.
So before we get into it, just a disclaimer: the videos that I took of Sapan, the gym is loud, so the audio is a little rough, but
I will go into what we're about to show a little bit more detail.
So I asked,
and congratulations are in order.
Yes, absolutely. Like, this is obviously first and foremost, congratulations to Sapan on his promotion. But what this is his first advanced belt reflection. Now that he's a blue belt, he has his first step in the journey, big step in the journey completed. So what I did was I just asked him a couple questions here, kind of walking along to try to understand, some things that he dealt with, and maybe that will help somebody else as they hear his answers. Maybe it inspires them to just ask questions to others to try to get a better
conversation going.
Yep. So the first question here that I asked Sapan was, when did you start jiu-jitsu, and what were your first impressions?
And roll tapes.
Yeah, we're gonna bring this video up now.
Gotta get the hamster going. Sorry, guys.
The fourth camera is not on, by the way.
Oh, good.
Good.
It's good. Don't worry.
We'll work on that while we're doing this. Whoop, sorry about that. Forgot to do the music. All right.
I want to say the end of October of 2020. Hadn't ever done anything like this before in martial arts, so it was all brand new. Coming into that first class was pretty nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. But even from the first class, I felt welcomed by the students there at the time. I was being involved, even though it was my first class. I was being, made to feel comfortable to the point where, I quickly got over the nerves, and it got to a point where, I had a discussion with Professor Radji, and he kind of alleviated some of the concerns I had. And it just kept coming, and got to the point where it became like just a regular part of my routine.
So the concerns that you had, were they like fears, like injury?
Yeah, injury. Is it something I'll be able to learn, be able to do? It's like, I guess, like more like also trying something new, getting out of your comfort zone, like that type of thing as well. So
awesome. All right. The patented awesome. It's because I'm so genuinely happy listening to.
I know you get pumped. Your passion's always there. It's on your sleeve. I love it. I respect it.
Yeah. So
Advanced Belt Reflections, aka Eli's awesome mat interviews,
bro.
So
get you jacked up.
So what were your guys' first impressions of jiu-jitsu?
I knew I wanted to do it, so it was like my first impression. I already kind of did it when I used to do Muay Thai at that gym that I went to. They also had but it was like more no-gi MMA jiu-jitsu. It wasn't this. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I'm not gonna say they weren't legit, but this is more legit. You know what I mean? So and they practice in the gi, and I think that's very important when you do jiu-jitsu. You know, in the street, man, you use someone's jacket, choke them out. Yeah, you use their jacket, choke their motherfucker out.
Who's our guy that we'll catch in the streets?
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy.
Yeah. Classic scumbag.
Bum.
Now,
Bum.
official bum. He's been signed by the streets.
He's been signed by the streets.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. What was yours, Lonnie?
My initial impression of like before I joined or after my first class,
like just walking through the process, like the whole thing.
Well, I mean, I had Ed encouraging me to get involved in a martial art. I knew that him and Mike had already been doing Muay Thai and stuff, and like we shared in a previous podcast, we were YouTube instructing one another on some
in your basement,
really thin puzzle mats in my mom's basement.
We might as well just been on
in Edison, and in the basement it's concrete floor, like is here in this garage.
It's a tablecloth.
And weirdly, because even though we're rolling on the foundation, like we still shook the whole fucking house, like from down there.
Oh, that's funny.
So I knew that I liked it. I mean, even before, it was loud. Even before I knew that, like, I wanted to stay with it, even before I took a class at Radji's Academy, or even before I trained with Ed in the basement using YouTube Academy, right?
Yeah.
It's
good. You got us started.
If you're broke, you can train here. But
we weren't even broke.
Yeah, we just didn't know. But anyway, I mean, we had always kind of been goofing around and roughing each other up like our whole kind of grow up together, right? Throughout high school, like we were all athletic, and it wouldn't be uncommon for us to, like, I don't know, maybe get drunk and try to fuck each other up or something.
Boxing matches in Ryan's basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that was when we were really young.
Yeah. But I mean, still, there was always that element in us.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think a competitive and a combative.
We've all like combat sports, watching it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think at that time I was watching a lot of UFC. We used to watch UFC a lot. I think that also piqued our interest because I remember it was like, yo, let's go do fucking jiu-jitsu, bro.
Yeah, and we started being able to speak the language. I mean, even before we started, right? I think as we started watching more fights, we're like, I know what half guard is. I know what a mount is. You know, it's just like you hear Joe Rogan say these things on TV, and you're like, but it's like we also discussed in a previous discussion, like it makes more sense once you can speak the language, you become more excited about it because you can now be more of a part of the conversation. You understand, right? It's not just like, wow, right hook. Yeah, I saw that.
Naturally, that's a progression when you're into something.
Right.
You just start understanding.
But I digress in that once I actually started a class, I was instantly hooked. I mean, it's a cliche answer, but I'm just fascinated by the manipulation of the body and how there's little details that make big differences, right? And so I think about a lot of stuff. I'm fascinated by the physics behind it, how a small person can use physics to overcome a larger person and things like that, right? Momentum, which other martial arts kind of go more into, but jiu-jitsu has so many elements of so many other martial arts that to me, it was just a challenge, right? It was a new puzzle. It's a new puzzle that has no solution. So you can't ever finish it, right? I think that's things like that have this perpetual infinite nature, I think, are always kind of fascinating to people who have a thirst for knowledge and for challenge, right?
Yeah, because it boggles your brain because you can't comprehend how it just like keeps going on forever.
Yeah. It's like zombies.
It's like
you can't win.
Infinity.
You can't win, and eventually you'll just die.
Yeah, Call of Duty zombies.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
There's no victory for that game. You always die.
I think you might have accidentally hit the camera off when you muted the.
Is that what I did?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. You guys talk for a second.
All right. So my first impressions, honestly, was wrestling with these two guys at our friend's barbecue.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're going to tell this story?
Well, I'm not going to tell the whole thing. I'm just going to say I was drunk, and they I think I was popping at the mouth.
What was the whole thing anyway? It's like it's not that long to begin with.
It was just that I was
All right.
I was popping at the mouth, and I was
You did hold like both of us.
yeah. Yeah.
There is a video.
There's a video somewhere, yeah. I
We're at
mean,
Ray's house.
we're also like, not trying to hurt each other either. I mean, we're being stupid. And I did get hurt. I pulled my hamstring.
Was that the same night?
No, I think it was a different
I
night.
think it was a different night.
But
Dude, that was crazy. That was
What?
nuts. When you pulled your like hammy.
oh yeah, dude, that was nuts.
Oh, dude, for any actual jiu-jitsu practitioners out there listening to us right now, all I did was get you in a deep half guard because you had me crunched. You had this grip under my legs and around my head, and you clamped, and I was like, oh, this sucks. And you were just being drunk and strong, and I was like, ugh. And like I just fought it, and somehow like you tried mounting me. And that's when I was like, all right, finally I'm gonna go. And I got in a deep half, and like you went to step out, and you're like, oh, like it like popped, I guess.
Yeah, it popped.
Ugh.
It popped. It was right in the middle of a season.
Baseball, right?
Yeah, and it was sucked because it was I had
Sorry, but you kinda did it yourself.
oh, I totally did it myself. You were wearing sneakers and I was wearing socks. You did have a super advantage there.
It doesn't matter advantage. You fucking your shit exploded because you slipped out. I just went in a deep half, and you just kind of fell on me.
Oh, anyway, to get back to it, so
How did it feel?
for me, it was like I didn't want to join because I wanted to play. I was good at these other sports, and I was like, hey, I'm getting really good exercise from this. I'm enjoying this stuff. I'm good at it. I've been doing it forever. And I saw the commitment, so I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And then finally,
it took like another year and a half.
it took like another year and a half. Yeah. Raji had said to me, he planted a seed.
He planted that seed even earlier.
He planted that seed on your 30th birthday.
Fuck, man.
Dude, I want to say it was your 30th birthday. It was your 30th
That was
birthday.
2016.
Yep, it was your 30th birthday, and it was at what's the name of that bar that closed down? Fox and the Hound.
Yeah, they closed down.
Yeah, it closed down.
Pandemic.
Pandemic
got him.
We were at that.
Oh my god.
Those poor saps. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it wasn't that serious, but that's funny.
This part of the episode is
Brought to you by the pandemic. Stupid.
But Raji said to me, he goes, you won't do jujitsu because of your ego.
Yeah, because your fucking ego got in the way.
And
bitch.
and that sat with me, dude. That sat with me. And then I got to a
You would
point.
talk about it too, way before you even did jujitsu. You're like, yeah, you said that. And it kind of hit me, man. And I'm like, okay, so come. And you're like, no, I'm not ready. You kept putting it off.
I was trying to lose weight.
You were like, no, man, I gotta like. You did the whole.
And then I got heavier.
No, you did the whole. I gotta exercise before I gotta go. It's like, dude, it's so funny to me when people make that excuse, and now because you're like you're a veteran now in jiu-jitsu. So like, people that do that, it's like that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
You're making the dumbest excuse.
It's
That's the workout.
it really is like
go do the workout.
Yeah.
Start it now.
I mean,
Like,
I get if you're like now looking back, obviously it was stupid.
I used to bust your balls.
I know. But I was close to brushing 290, and now I'm like 245. Yeah.
Damn, you were that fucking.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was brushing 290. I was up there. And it happened fast. It happened out of nowhere. I gained like 25, 30 pounds out of nowhere. But yeah, anyway.
Those other sports really work.
Yeah. So when I finally joined, yeah, man, same as Lenny said, it's cliche, but it's true. There's a lot of cliches in jiu-jitsu.
You know what it is? Because we
you
all
just
play
get hooked.
sports and we're competitive.
Yeah.
So in that sense, and we're humble guys. So I think we don't really have,
There's something else to jiu-jitsu though. There's whole wavelength thing that like connects us. That it's something else.
Absolutely. That's why I don't play any other sport, man.
Yeah.
I used to play every sport, like did everything. Now
No,
I haven't fucking.
I'd rather focus on
I
this.
played basketball with my nephew like 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
I was like fucking out of breath running up the court like twice. I was like, holy shit, what's wrong with me? I was like, my lungs aren't prepared for this. This is weird.
You got them raisin lungs.
But it felt weird. I was like, fuck, I feel like I was like, I kind of.
Well, jujitsu gives that cardio on like the mat. It doesn't really give you any type of cardio when it comes to running.
I know I could be a little. I hate to say it, but like a little bit lazy on the mat. Then I can be. You gotta use your legs and shit like a different way.
Yeah. I gotta move differently.
I gotta move faster.
So let's get back to advanced belt reflection here with Sapan.
All right.
So next question here was how long did it take for your blue belt promotion?
And here we go.
My blue belt promotion overall took about a year and a half. The journey in the beginning was difficult, trying to get acclimated to coming to jiu-jitsu, 3-4 days a week. Sometimes difficult because, like life happens, work happens, can't come. A lot of changes, I would say, at least in the first 3 months. Physical changes. I noticed my cardio drastically improved. Also, just body physical changes, getting more lean, getting more cut, more muscle endurance, just as a natural side effect of rolling and training multiple times a week. Mental, I would say the biggest thing is, I guess it kind of teaches you that you can learn to do something difficult if you put in the time and the work and you're diligent in coming to class and practicing. It teaches you that even difficult things are possible if you're willing to follow the process. And
Sorry for the movement.
It kind of impacts other areas of your life as well, in the sense that if you're willing to put in the time and effort into something, you eventually get better at it. I think that's a big part of jiu-jitsu. That's what it teaches you.
Awesome.
I always have to say, I don't know.
Awesome. Just be like, awesome.
Yeah.
Every time.
Perfection.
Awesome.
So how long did it take you guys for your blue belt promotions?
Want to go first?
A little under 2 years, I think. We started in 2013.
2014.
2014.
February
I got promoted in June 2015.
So a little under a year and a half.
Yeah. I actually have pictures.
I
have some pictures of mine. You were before that.
I got mine.
Did you guys get
2014? I got December at Chukow's seminar.
That's what I was about to ask. Did you both get them at seminars?
At seminars, yes, but not at the same one.
Not at the same one. Yeah, okay.
Mine was in the summer.
It's I don't have my white belt anymore, but I remember it was kind of crazy because.
Did you lose it in?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I lost my blue belt and my white belt.
Oh man, that must have been really tough. Or did it not bother you at all?
In the moment, there was so much going on, but like when I reflected on it, I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks because I had my purple belt, obviously, so I only have one belt.
My white belt is on the back of my laundry room door. I look at it all the time. I look at that thing and I'm like, I think about like all the time that I spent.
I'll never forget this. I used to go a lot as a white belt. I was going like 5 times a week. I was in it. I knew it like from the start. I'm like, long run. I'm in this for the long run. And I was like, I remember I competed towards the end of the year. We started in February 2014. I did really well in no gi and gi. And
oh nice, you brought the picture up. That's cool.
And holy shit,
look at Eddie and his Conor McGregor.
This one, yeah, I know you can't really see my face in it.
This one's more Bryce Harper, yeah. No, you can tell that's you, Len.
But this was the day.
That's when you got your. That was at Jukow's summer seminar.
Is that
20,
is that the
15.
the Brooke haircut that you got rocking there?
It's not a Brooklyn.
It's not
No,
a-
it's
it's not
just
a Brooklyn?
fade. No,
Remember the Brooke?
So
I was not cool enough to
Sorry,
have that
Ed.
anymore.
no, that's cool.
Go ahead.
So so the seminar was like December 2014. I was 3-stripe white belt, and I wasn't expecting it. And Radji was up there, and they promoted me to blue. I was like, holy shit! I thought I had like, I needed another stripe. So I was thinking like, oh man, all right, well, because like as a white belt, you do think about it. Like for me, that's when I thought about the most. I was like, I want to get to that blue, and I haven't really thought like I don't have that mentality anymore. Now it's just about going and training, and as it happens, like when it happens, it's great. It's a celebration. It does mean something, but that's not like the main focus. But I remember as like white belt, you think about it. We all do it, and I remember when I got it, I was very shocked, and I had a cool conversation later on with Radji. I remember we were going up to New York to train, and he was like, yeah, I know, even though I gave it to you like early, he's like, I knew you were going to fulfill the role of like a blue belt, and I did. It was like weird. I remember when I got that belt, I felt like I leveled up, like for a couple months as a blue belt.
It's like
I was doing shit I was never doing before. I was like, oh my God, yes.
It's like when you play a
but
video
then-
game and
then
you
you
get the achievement at the bottom of the screen.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got like 3 of them. And then a couple good months. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, all right, a bunch of blue belts start kicking my purple belts. So,
Yeah.
like, damn, all right, back to
The grind.
it's like, yeah, it's always like that at every level.
So I started in 2019. The pandemic hit, and that was March, right? March was when things started getting to the point where like we had to like shut down and everything. I stayed in the gym, but it was like it wasn't class. It was just like random, rolling. And then I spent like 3 weeks with Radji, and we redid the school. We painted and we did all the electrical outlets. We did a lot. We cleaned the place completely. Like there was so much that we did there. So I never had to leave the gym. A lot of people that did jujitsu had to leave the gym. I was at least there. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, I stayed there. Even though I wasn't doing jujitsu, I was still concentrated on jujitsu. And then as soon as we started doing like the, smaller openings for people, like kind of hidden basically, I started doing that. And that was, I want to say, beginning of May is when things started to get a little bit more like, okay, we're going to train no matter what. And then the following May is late April, early May of 2021 is when I got my blue belt. So I guess it's about a year and a half, right? Considering like because there was like 2 months, dude.
A year.
Was it a year? 2019, 2020,
No,
2021. Yeah, well, year and a half.
no. You got it last 2021, right?
2021.
April, you said. End of April,
End of
May.
April,
We're not
early
even
May.
there yet in 2022.
Right.
So not even a year.
Not even a year. No, I'm talking about
Not a
from
year and a half.
beginning to blue belt.
Oh, you mean your whole journey?
Yeah, the beginning.
Like from
when I started to
now.
got to blue, because the question was, how long did it take to get to your blue belt promotion?
You started in 2009.
Round and round.
So it's more than
Yeah.
a year and a half.
So it's I think it was like brushing 2 years. What was the what was I gonna say? Totally lost my train of
Me
thought.
too. Sorry.
Yeah, you got me. You kind of clubbed me on the back of the head. You're like, thunk. All right, so let's go to the next question then and keep this moving. So the next question is, I asked Sapan, tell me about your journey, difficulties, changes physically, mentally. Like, what did he, pretty straightforward. What were the changes that he saw?
I have the video ready. I don't know why it's stacked now. It's like that on this one.
Okay, so jiu-jitsu has become a big part of my life. It's not just a thing I do. It's not just a class I go to 3 times a week. It's impacted me physically, mentally, emotionally. It's something I talk to other people about, friends and family. And they're kind of shocked when I tell them that I do jiu-jitsu, but it's one of those things I talk about proudly. I do try to encourage other people to at least give it a try, because I was also in that position once where I was, hesitant to try something new. And I guess like the biggest thing is it's aside from the exercise factor, I would say it helps me clear my mind. I'll have bad days at work, and there's times like I don't want to get up and get dressed and come to class. I would rather stay home. But those days when you push yourself and come, you're better off for it, because I definitely feel better afterwards.
Awesome.
Without fail.
It is so important for someone to realize that. So I said it today when I was talking to somebody that when we're talking about jiu-jitsu, and I was like, the most simple piece of advice that I've gotten, and it came from Professor Joe, was whenever you're doing jiu-jitsu, no matter what, it should be fun. Even if you're getting your ass kicked, it should be fun. And I think once you get there, once you figure out how to get over the hump of getting, your ass kicked,
it's letting
now
go of the
all of a
ego
sudden,
as much as you can.
mentally, you just clear out. Now you know how to like release when you get to jiu-jitsu and you go to work. All of a sudden now, because it's about having fun. It's about getting better at this. All of a sudden now you can release mentally, and the effects of that on the rest of your life, personally, at work, whatever it may be. All of a sudden now you have like, it's almost like an elixir to allow you to be younger and to be
a perseverance drug. It's like you persevere through it, because it's hard. And then it's like you feel, it gives you confidence to like tackle anything that's tough. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that are tough in jiu-jitsu. If you can conquer that, you kind of feel like, well, you
take care of anything.
Yeah.
Like any stress that you'll deal with on any day at work, you're like, okay, what's worse, getting choked out or
right after?
What's that?
Especially like right after.
Oh God, yeah.
The energy, man. I have like energy all night.
There's a funny video of a dude, and the caption is like driving to jiu-jitsu, and the guy's like driving all like aggressively in traffic, and he's like, get the fuck out of my way. Who the fuck do you think you are? Cut me off. And he's like cursing, flipping the bird and everything like that. And then it's like after jiu-jitsu, and it's like, oh, do you need to get in front of me? Go ahead.
After you, my friend.
Yeah. Take your time. Yeah.
You got to almost choke people out to death, and you're like, all right, I'm good now.
So what was for
really like that.
For you guys, as far as like your journey and like the question that I asked Sapan, what's like the one thing that you take away from jiu-jitsu as far as how it's changed you? Like what would you say is like, man, and this is the reason I keep doing it. You know what I mean? And this is why I come back. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of. It's
deep.
It's a very complex for so many reasons, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it's always just kind of comes back to the challenge. And the fact that even when you go, if you're having a lazy night, maybe you're a little more sore, or maybe you're just not feeling as up to the challenge. I always find that I usually don't refuse people who ask me to roll, right? So I might have the mindset like, I'm going to take it easier tonight. Maybe I'm going to just try to show some of the more beginning guys, some stuff even during live training and stuff. But a purple or brown belt or whoever asked me to roll, I'll usually say yes, unless I'm completely unless I'm already done for the most part, or I can't breathe.
Do you communicate like, hey, I'm like, take it easy, I'm taking this run easy, or do you just run?
I usually will just set that pace with the roll, you know. But I always find that even on the days that I wanted to take it easy, if I challenged myself a little bit more or I accepted a challenge, I always feel good about it afterwards. So I just think, like Eddie just said before, it's the little achievements. And I also like that it's a physical challenge, which you get sore from, which helps, right, build muscle and tone your muscle and things like that. But it's not only that, right? You can lift weights and get that, but you're not getting something else. You're not getting a supplemental like knowledge of a technique or self-defense at the very core of it. So yeah, I think that I like that it's, in the most simplest way to put it, it's a very interesting and like it's an interesting and it's like a very full workout. I can't exactly put my mouth on the word that I want to use there. But it's
all encompassing.
Like, yeah, it's all encompassing. It has a lot of value. It's not just the strength and the toning value. It has, right,
it's
defensive value.
It's not like doing squats or pull-ups. Right. Like that's like almost like one dimensional.
Where you can hit a target of reps or weight or whatever, but that's it. And you get strength out of that or endurance. And that's pretty much it. Would you get that from jiu-jitsu, but you also get the other stuff.
You like learn when you do jiu-jitsu, you learn parallels about like life.
And and that's just that's like a physical way for me to put it, right? Because I can kind of break it up into a few different things. That's the physical and the mental part of it, but more mental would be, right, the anxiety relief, the stress relief, the release, the both physical and the mental part of it, the camaraderie, the joking, the laughing, right? We have a lighthearted gym. We love one another. We laugh. We love to make jokes, right? It's not right. We take our training very sincere, but at our academy, it's lighthearted, right? It's not disrespectful to like somebody start giggling when somebody makes a joke. Respect. There's a lot of respect, and it's not like a very sincere, like, we are here to sincerely train, but we can still have an awesome and fun and laughing time together while we do it. And I think that's definitely another part of it for me, for sure.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That was perfect. I think Eddie can't follow that up.
You want me to try?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I could try. Well,
of course he can.
Just to piggyback off of like a lot of the shit he said, but like the challenge of it, right? It's just human chess. I think that is like in chess, there's so many ways to win and defend. And it's just like in jiu-jitsu, it's a very, very complex game, but like physically. But I think that it does so many different things. Like he said, the camaraderie, you develop so many different relationships, that are meaningful, and you go through like bonds through a lot of people, and like you're going to war with each other essentially, but you're trying to make each other better.
I feel like in what you're saying there, like when like you go to war, like the question would be then like, what are you going to war with? And honestly,
bodies,
the first obvious, the initial response or the rawest response is because we're clashing bodies. But when you really
keep each other strong, you know what I mean?
When you really think about it,
longevity in your physicality.
When you really think about it, when we go to jiu-jitsu individually, we're collectively bringing all the challenges that we're dealing with on a daily basis. And when we get into the gym, we're all trying to, like Radji says during the warm-up, he's usually like, this is a moment to release. This is a moment to let go of what you thought of during the day and focus on class. When that happens, when we all flip that switch together, it's like we're all putting our entire life and like all the wars that we're individually battling on the mat, and we all figure it out by, like you said, clashing bodies. I think that's, for me, to quickly answer, that's what for me is the most like special thing that I've come to now. Like I feel that energy. We all come in there and it's just like, and then we focus and then we pound it out.
Well, it does so many things for you mentally too, man. It makes you relaxed in like a chaotic environment to just like sit back, logically think, and like outside of jujitsu, like it can, if you do it on a daily basis, where it can like free your mind a little bit, you have clarity, you think more clear at your job and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You don't have pent up anger. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I just think for you mentally, your mental health overall, it's really good. But obviously, there's like I said, it's so complex. There's so many like different elements to what jiu-jitsu does for you, you know, inside and out of it.
There's something about that. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, go.
All I was going to say was there's something about once you get past that white belt stage, and like you talked about how language, being able to like communicate now, and like you're happy you can communicate now. Once you get to that blue belt, now you start being able to talk that language. And all of these, like you feel all these pluses that we're talking about as a white belt, but once you get that blue belt promotion, I feel like you do level up, and now all of a sudden you're having conversations with others, and all these things, all these benefits that we're talking about, they start to bloom even more, and it starts to now, because like for me, for example, I'm feeling like that right now. I feel like on a daily basis, like I told you guys earlier today, I said when I went to jiu-jitsu last night, I felt like I was a completely different person. Like I was like, whoa, like there's a violence, but it's calm. And I'm like, where did this come from? And like somebody was even, I think it was Will that was walking out, and he was like, he was violent tonight.
Calm Violence, band name, called it.
That's dope. Calm Violence. Say that 5 times fast.
Calm violence, calm violence, calm violence, calm violence.
It's very slow.
The tongue is getting bigger.
Yeah.
Just say,
I don't like doing it. That wasn't enjoyable at all.
It was very slow too. It was not fast like he asked you to do.
No. I just didn't want to make a fool of myself.
So yeah, those things are pretty cool. So the next question. So I asked Sapan, what does jiu-jitsu mean to you now? Where are we now in his journey, now that he's gotten his blue belt promotion? How does he feel about, you know, jiu-jitsu, the environment, physically, mentally, at work, at home? Like, just kind of answer. Like, I was asking for him to just communicate to me exactly where he shelves it. He shelves jiu-jitsu at.
So my main goal for jiu-jitsu, I would say, is definitely improving fundamentals and technique to the point where I'm not relying so much on, I would say, sheer strength. I find myself relying on strength a lot, especially on folks much bigger than me. And when that happens, I feel like you kind of forget about techniques that you learned. So my goal is to be conscious when I'm rolling, and relying more on technique, not to, overexert myself, not to just power out of things, and just be conscious of what I'm doing in the context of like techniques I've learned and things I've seen, videos I've watched.
Awesome.
You didn't say it.
We because
we said it for him.
I'm pretty sure I hit the actual button and said to myself, no, I'm not going to say it again.
On that time.
So
now it's a requirement.
Yeah, you can't just walk away.
Well, otherwise, we'll have to come up with a new name for the segment. It's
walk
Eli's
away.
awesome man interviews. They're pretty awesome, though. It's a great interview. And
I like how we call everything a segment.
everything is a segment.
It's a segment now.
This whole show is a segment.
Yeah, it's one big segment.
It's a figment
of our imagination.
Yeah.
This isn't really happening.
You guys are just sleeping right now.
Did we just break the fourth wall?
It's a segment. Well, before we reflect on Sapan's answer here and answer ourselves, why don't we take a little second to again recognize the fact that this podcast would not be possible without Radji Barret Jiu Jitsu Academy. If you're cool, you can train here. Please check his website out at RadjiBarretJiu-Jitsu.com and check his Instagram page out at Radji Barret Jiu Jitsu. And with that, also check us out at Adaptive Jiu Jitsu on Instagram. Check out our website. We also have awesome rash guards that just came out yesterday. They are available on the website for both pickup if you train with us and for shipping right to your address if you prefer to do it that way. And we have a special announcement for anybody who has been a customer of ours and has bought a rash guard already. We have a custom checkout code for you that's going to give you one of our 10-inch adaptive patches for free. And yeah, that's as a thank you for supporting us, supporting the podcast, supporting our business, and supporting us as jiu-jitsu practitioners. And of course, if you have already purchased both the original rash guard and a large patch from us, just partner up with us. We'll come up with something cool to kind of offer our thanks to you for supporting us.
Word up.
So yeah, we're just going to show this quick little bump.
Bumpity bump.
Little bump. Again, thanks, Radji, for being an awesome professor. He's at 540 New Brunswick Ave in Fords. Check out his schedule. Check out his jiu-jitsu. He's got amazing lessons, amazing students there, including us. So if you're cool, you can train here.
And no, you
Adapt
guys
or get tapped.
If you guys have questions, things you guys want us to talk about, hit us up on Instagram, email us, any means necessary. Ask us on the mats. We'll talk about it here. We have our resident brown belt. What did I say in that meeting or interview the other day? Yours truly. Yours truly, Eduardo.
I am here with yours truly. This other guy.
This
That's not me. Yeah.
Do you sign your emails with Ed's name?
Yeah, brought to you by Ed. I'm breaking. That's not even the fourth wall. That's like breaking into someone's soul.
Yeah, that's meta, bro.
That's super meta. That's some Ready Player One shit.
breaking into your soul. I'm sorry, I'm crying.
You got me crying.
That's great. Guys, this is what jiu-jitsu means to us now. We get to have funny conversations like this one.
That's stupid.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Whoo, derailed. So yeah, I had asked Sapan here what jiu-jitsu means to you now. We kind of answered that right before, I think, in talking about like one thing that's really been important to us in our journeys. But just simply, I'll make it real nice and sweet. Jiu-jitsu means to me that I can, physically do everything I can to stay young, flexible, exercising, camaraderie. We've used that word too here. And then the mental aspect.
We're talking about his question, what it means to him to be a blue
Ed,
belt.
you're way off, Mike.
What he means to be a blue belt at this point, right?
What jiu-jitsu means to him overall.
Overall,
Yeah.
so like everything, his philosophy starts changing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when you start. You know what's funny, man? Because a lot of people quit at blue belt, especially when they first get blue belt. I've seen so many people.
Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you made it through it.
I think for some people, it's just like a bucket list notch in my life. They want to do
So
other
weird.
things. It is what it is.
It makes sense.
That's what it is.
But
They want to go maybe do something a little bit more sexy, like an MMA gym or something like that, and
maybe
do some cage work. And
I don't know.
I have
MMA, I
short-term
think
memory with like our past training partners who are no longer training with us.
There's
Honestly,
a lot of people that have.
there's many.
There's a lot of people that stayed too. There's a lot,
Those are the ones that matter to me.
it's crazy how those upper belts create
No
like
offense.
columns.
There's been some good people that passed through.
That's fair. Yeah, sure.
they
I
create.
just don't remember them, is what I'm saying.
I know. I got what you were saying.
He Men in
Yeah.
Blacks them,
He just does it to himself.
right?
He's like, "Ah, fuck it.
No longer needed.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
The memory of them is fine. Okay, it's
I
not
was-
great. It's not horrible.
I was talking.
It's fine.
I was talking
Fine.
about that with Professor last night. I said it's so cool to see like your brown and your purple belts and like how they each represent like a column in your environment. Like they're all an extension of your jiu-jitsu, an extension of your mindset when it comes to this place. And they all represent a different piece. Like he was telling me, he was like, there's some that have great half guards, some that are great
Everybody starts
going to the
developing
back,
their own game,
chokes. You're right, exactly. And then you could go to all these different flavors to learn all those different expertise. It's really cool to be in an environment like this, man. It's awesome. I feel it humbles me around the people that we're around.
I think what's cool about the group that we train with is everybody is very open.
They
Open-minded.
reflect too.
Reflect, open-minded, willing to engage, and try to learn, and not really also try to, pass whatever they know,
Mhm.
Everybody seems to be very on the, we're a unit.
And I feel like some people know that they're playing the actor of push, and some play the actor of like, yo, slow down, baby. Like you're going way too fast. Like I feel like there are people who are pushing on the pedal or gearing down, but staying just as effective and smooth. And you know what I'm saying? Like there's just different
upper
levels
belts.
of engagement.
No one's really hurting each other.
No,
I'm just saying that's why, because people kind of,
know what they're doing.
well, I would say more advanced belts, they feel the aggression. They kind of know, like, that's what I'm saying. Nobody really, like, everyone has an ego, but even when you try to push it to the side, you can push it, a good amount of it.
Mm.
I think everyone does a good job managing it in our gym. We don't really have anybody that's like, I gotta beat this guy, like, in an aggressive way where I hurt him. Just be better, out like duel him in a chess match. I think that's like what's kind of cool. We have a lot of people that are like trying to play jiu-jitsu and like, I just want to like technically beat you.
Yeah, we have a really good, like, I think foundational core of people just like you described, right? A lot of the people have been there from the beginning or from some of Radji's original students that are still around. We kind of fit that mindset of the training. It's a very, very friendly competition. We are only fighting one another to make each other better, and at the end of the day, we're friends. We're better because of it.
Masterful, technical,
Yeah.
calculated.
Oh, we have a comment here. Let's see. And yeah. No, never mind. And
No comment.
Whoops. Just took out someone's power cable.
Sacre bleu.
Bro.
Sacre bleu.
But yeah.
All right. So next question here. Am I moving too quick for you here, buddy?
No, I'm ready.
All right.
Got it ready.
So what are your goals moving forward?
Main goal for jiu-jitsu, I would say, is definitely improving fundamentals and technique to the point where I'm not relying so much on, I would say, sheer strength. I find myself relying on strength a lot, especially on folks much bigger than me.
Sorry, we played
and
this
when
one.
that happens, I feel like
Oh, did you play
the
the
wrong
one?
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone.
Sacre bleu.
Everybody's like, wait, could have sworn
Like,
we're just listening
Oh no.
to this one.
Did we go out of order?
No, dude. What do you mean? What's out of order? It's not like one's like more important than the other. What order? What are you talking about?
What is
if
the
I was
order? What is the order?
Well, so what was the question again?
So our platform can do, although we love it, it could do a better job of setting up like
Yeah, it makes it difficult to set the
switch
videos up.
videos. It makes it hard to switch videos.
If I could go back in time.
So here, I'll pause it for a
and talk to
second.
my-
So this is the question that we asked last week to the to Mike Gittini, Malcolm,
What would we
and
tell
Schlope.
our-
What we tell our white belt self. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a
That's at the core of advanced belt reflections.
Yeah.
I'd say, right? That's
Yeah.
like the core question.
it was the beginning, the inception.
He's like, this is when it's fresh in my mind.
Right. Yeah.
I just was there.
That's what it all boils down to, I think, right? Like the reflections, of course, we can go deep. We could talk like all the amazing discussions that we had tonight about it. But I do like that as like a very succinct, like, okay, well, at the end, that's the final question of these interviews, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of
And it's sustainable because it's different for everybody.
right. Like reflecting all of those
Yeah,
things.
but he's going to
that-
reflect on it later on, even differently.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll get to a purple belt.
That's
and
why
then he'll
all
say
three of
something
us
else.
had different answers, you know,
Yeah.
when we talked about it the other day.
This is a cool way to, the longer we do this, that offers us a video documentation
Of
to look
growth.
back at that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's somebody who was able to do that from the beginning, right? You know, if Sapan sticks around, we're still doing the podcast 5 years from now and be like, okay, well, what do you tell yourself now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, stick around, Sapan.
And then you can buy that thumb drive for $99.99. I'll give you all. Just kidding.
You'll get it for free. Don't
All
worry.
right, let's play a video.
$9.99.
I own your memories.
Yeah.
Everyone else has got his data.
If I
Come
was,
on.
if I could go back in time and talk to my white belt self, I would tell myself definitely to be more consistent. There are times where, for whatever reason, I have taken like week and a half off the mats, and you feel it. It shows. And you take a large amount of time off, and you come back, you feel the rust, and things just don't stick as well as they do as if you're coming like on a consistent cadence of 2-3 days a week. So yeah, I would tell myself to be consistent, even if there's days you don't want to feel, even if there's days you don't feel like coming. At least try to push yourself to come for the drilling at least, because it'll help you in the long run.
Awesome.
Not that time.
Ed, where'd you go? That's a great answer, I think. And I'll just jump right in and speak to that one for what he said, that, you know, if you come once a week, it definitely doesn't stick as well. And that's 100% true. You know, I mean, especially now with the baby, my distance to the school, I make it in, 3 times a week, absolute maximum. I shoot for 2. Most of the time I end up there 1 or 2. But even this week, I was actually able to make it in twice. And the second day is always so much more like I feel like I'm absorbing it more, for sure. Especially because Radji does it in a strategic way where it builds throughout the week and even throughout the month, right? There's series. So you're not seeing the opposite position that you might have seen like a month ago, right? Like if you go on a Monday and Wednesday, there's going to be adjacent material there. But 100%, I always feel better on anything beyond the first day. Physically, maybe I might get more sore, but mentally, exactly what Sapan said, like it sticks. The rust doesn't stick. The knowledge does in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Just like anything else, right? Repetitions are king.
Yeah.
I also think it's obviously you get to articulate in your brain what you're doing
It's
as
that
you further
reinforcement.
advance. But dude, like the consistency, especially in the beginning, you have to learn how to use and move your body physically. And I don't care who you are, you can't watch videos and study until you start getting that down, because you were consistent for the first couple of years because you were really going, and physically you're able to move in certain areas and ways smoothly, quickly, and responsively, just because of like muscle memory. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build that. And like, dude, you'll lose it a little bit if you don't go for a while, if you take like long breaks. So
Yeah.
that's why it's very important to be consistent, especially mentally. Like
Just
your body
go.
just almost instinctively being able to trust because you put the work in. It's almost like you put your trust into your natural instincts of how you would move.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing it so consistently, and like you've been like, there's no just the way it is, man.
Just throw yourself into the fire. Like, don't like, you should have like a mantra at that belt level. And even obviously as you advance, I feel like it becomes easier. Like, you want it in a different way. Like, because you can practice it now in a way where you have your own paths and you have your own game. It's easier to go versus, I believe, when you're that white belt and you're just spending a lot of time on your back, getting your ass kicked, knee on belly, side control, back takes, arm bars. You know, you're getting that the normal white belt. I don't want to call it beatdowns, but like methodical
lessons.
It's what it is. I mean, good higher belts too will do that to you too. As like, they won't sit there and like, of course I'll submit a white belt, but I'd rather sit there and just keep riding the position. You know, maybe I'm in mount and he goes to hip escape and a technical mount, and then he goes flat. I flatten him out, and then he goes to the other side, technical mount, and I just keep riding and I let him keep working that. And you know what? We may go the entire 6 minutes doing that. At the end of it, though, he just spent an eternity of knowledge, learning, just doing that whole time.
Yeah, and you can dominate this space without torturing somebody.
Absolutely.
You know, and then
I don't drop all my weight on people.
It's an effective lesson.
Did on me yesterday.
You know, and to
Eddie, you're
kinda,
a brown belt.
to go back to what you were saying.
My body's sore.
Sorry, Len, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I forgot what we were doing, but I mean, we had a really good duel, but he caught me and my momentum was going up. So I had nothing to brace. And he pulled on both. I believe he pulled, if I remember correctly, you pulled on both sleeves from the tricep area. So I had nothing to actually like brace my landing on.
I landed on you hard.
And you landed on me and I was like,
yeah.
And like I felt it go. And
I even stopped. I was like, "You're all right." You're like,
and he stopped and I was like, "Just give me 1 second." And I went like this.
Dude, it was the way I passed.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't about to die.
Dude, it was the way I passed and like your legs kicked out. I fell on you. It was like,
because I was trying to go half guard.
You missed,
and I missed. And you got around, and you had pulled.
Yeah, landed hard on his chest, bro. Soul plex.
Derailment again.
What's that noise? Is there something? Are you kicking something by accident?
No, it's my chair. It needs some.
It's squeaky. I don't think I'm hearing it in my headphones. I just hear it outside the headphones. No, I was gonna say it's that. You know, those lessons. It's the discomfort that really sticks with you, but
like when you're talking about like when you're taking that moment to say, "Oh, I don't want to go to class." Like,
well, sure, that's the mental kind of discomfort, maybe physical if you're feeling tired. But I meant actually like while you're rolling, right? Those lessons that you learn, but that's what's going to breed the comfort, right? You can't become comfortable in a position unless you learn, right? It's the discomfort is going to generate callus, generate familiarity with that position, which is then going to foster the comfortability with that position, more comfortable, which is then going to give you confidence to be able to, escape or whatever. And with all those things comes, I'd say efficiency too, right? Less strength, less breath, less all of these things. And, when I break it down, I think about it, I always think kind of like three things, right? Mind, vision, and muscle memory, right? And as you build those three things, your jiu-jitsu gets better, right? Your mind to just know techniques, be familiar with them. Your vision to be able to see opportunities, maybe 1, 2, 3 steps ahead. And then the muscle memory is the ability to act without thinking, which frees up your chessboard mind, right? Frees up the vision to be able to kind of try to look forward, because you're going to react without having to say, "Oh, wow, he's reaching for my collar. Maybe I should block the hand. You know what I mean?
When you
just do
say
it.
vision, do you mean it in its truest sense with your sight, or do you mean it in general?
Where you know,
Because
where
I
the body's
roll
gonna
a lot
move.
with my eyes closed. I do that a lot, and I move fast sometimes too with my eyes closed, just because I'm feeling where the hips are, shoulders.
I would say it's this. It doesn't matter if my eyes are closed or open.
Right.
It's actually feeling. It's
Yeah.
knowing the body so well that you position yourself against the body to manipulate it.
That's what I hear when I hear you say vision. That's what I think.
That to me is like
Sure.
just knowing where I need to be 5 steps ahead, or even like, okay, if I go here and he reacts this way, I go back this way, or cut around this angle if he steps. You know what I mean?
It's both, right? It's a both, because like, how would you describe vision in like a team sport? It's both, right? It's one being able to predict, but also being able to see the positioning and react before that position is gone, right?
It's like an outfielder staring at a right-handed pitcher, throwing to a right-handed batter, knowing that he's throwing a slider, so the ball's going to start traveling to the opposite side of the plate of the batter. Batter swings. There's a good likelihood that ball could travel now to right field,
right?
Which means the ball's going to kind of like tail on you, which means you have to be prepared for that and have the vision to know that it's going to go to one spot.
And that's from what? Playing that
from repeated
over
and over.
Shout out to opening day.
Yeah, shout out to opening day today.
Yeah, how many games were canceled?
Yeah,
in the rain.
Oh man, and it always happens every year. It always happens. The April showers.
Dude, the funny part was they were already canceling games like the day before. It's like,
you're right. Yeah,
what happened? The old good fashioned people go there, get pissed off.
It's funny. I was watching the Mets game earlier today, and even so, just for somebody who maybe has never even thought about this, but if you look at a professional baseball field and you see any type of discoloration or formation in the dirt, like a circle or something like that, usually what that means is that maybe the water collected there from the tarp, or it leaked through. Maybe the tarp started to get a hole. Maybe they couldn't get the tarp on fast enough and that was just a spot. But when you see that, groundskeepers in baseball made a ridiculous amount of money. Like head groundskeepers, they keep those fields so immaculate because it changes the whole game.
They look great when you go
to
the baseball field before they started.
Unbelievable. They look like they placed every piece of dirt like on the field.
They like plucked every it looked like piece of grass.
Yep. Well, sure. I mean, a hard ball is dangerous in the infield on a rocky or whatever, just a non-smooth surface. It's dangerous,
bro.
Oh my god, dude! That only reason I could play.
Staring at you.
Only reason I could play shortstop in a league like that was because I was a catcher.
Drunk? No, I have no balls.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because as a catcher, you kind of get tight and you like react to the ball in a way where. So playing shortstop in a league where people are hitting balls as hard as they were. Dude, that Rahway league was ridiculous. Those guys could hit.
Yeah, but they were wood bats.
Yeah, even then though.
Yeah, but we were playing the other league was aluminum bats. We were playing.
Dude, when it was an aluminum bats,
drinking.
We're drinking. Yeah,
it was a drinking.
It's league. Like, hey, let's shoot at each other.
Someone was doing shoeies too. Who was doing shoeies?
What, like tobacco?
I saw someone do a shoey.
Shoey. Oh. Our friend John, it was my brother's cleat, and it was like a soccer cleat that got like a good couple years in it, and he took the beer and shoe.
I vaguely remember that, but why?
What can you get from that?
He got $50.
Did he?
He got $50. Yeah,
I meant like
he was like, "We'll give you $50 to do this." He was like, "Let's go."
I more meant like infection wise.
They were all like 25 at the time. You're that desperate still.
Instant gingivitis.
Well, was that it, or is there one more?
So that was the last video. So shout out to Sapan. Congratulations, bro.
For doing that.
You freaking deserve it, man. You really you worked really hard, and I remember when he started 2020. I think he started about a year after I did, but I remember seeing him come in, and the person that he is then from now, two different people. Sapan's confident, he's strong, he's quick, he's gonna be he's already a beast. He's gonna be a beast as he continues to learn how to use space.
You just stick with it, you'll become a beast of
Yeah,
some
man.
sort.
So there was I actually didn't even tell you about this, but it's okay. There's two more questions. They are in
Videos?
they are in our next segment, Ed Talk. So yeah,
we're talk now. We're at an hour and 10.
It's only two. It's two quick questions. It's not bad. So the first question is, what would be your advice to a white belt? Maybe somebody watching this episode that wants to hear about specific things. Maybe it might even inspire them to ask another question for the show, or just to you personally if they want to as well. What would be your advice to a white belt aspiring for their blue belt promotion?
We've gone over so many of them. I would say consistency, have the passion to want to get better. If you're looking at I think philosophically you look at it much deeper as you get into the other belts. So we're not going to talk about that. But in a white belt, you just want to get better. You want to have a better understanding of just elements of fundamentals and stuff like that. I would just say try to absorb as much as you can by learning from your partners that you're training with. Don't try to be I've said in the past, try to find a rival that's gonna make you better. You know what I mean? You're trying to make him better, and you could feel that same energy. He's trying to make you feel, you better at jiu-jitsu, and get a few training partners like that, and then just everyone else, just try your best. And I would say that basically I would say that I lost my train of thought. What was the question again?
Advanced belt reflection. This part of the episode has been brought to you by confusion,
Memory loss.
Totally.
Ginkgo biloba.
So we need to get Eddie some ginkgo biloba.
No, seriously.
So what would you tell a white belt aspiring to get to their blue belt promotion?
Consistency is key, man. I would just say look at it as like a chess match. Try to get all the fundamentals down, and don't be afraid to try to go for offensive things. And if you fail, learn from the sweeps and everything else. Have a good balance of playing defense and also trying to. I know it's not always easy, right? Some people it comes a little bit more natural than others.
It's not going to look sexy in the beginning, baby.
No. Just know that there's going to be a lot of adversity, and if you can, I think it all starts with the ego, man. If you can lose the ego and be prepared to take an ass whooping, but know that if you persevere through that, naturally you're just going to get better because you just keep going. And if you have fun, ultimately, like Joe said, if you just have fun with it, because you just know through that journey and the way the system works, it'll work out for you in so many different aspects of your life, especially in jiu-jitsu itself, because it's the forefront. You're just going to get better naturally if you just keep going. That's it.
Len, do you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, my advice always to someone is, keep going. Just focus on yourself and focus on the techniques that you want to get better on, and seek feedback. Right, seek feedback from your professor. I think if you're, of course, you can do it from your other teammates and stuff too, and everyone, especially advanced belts, are going to have likely great advice for you, hopefully. But I think, seek that specific feedback. Ask Radji what are you missing?
Expectations.
And and I don't think that maybe you're not missing anything, but I mean, he's the one who's promoting you, right? So it's when, and I say he, it could be your professor, right? To anyone who's listening outside of the school. But focus, just focus on your techniques and not the color of your belt or how many stripes are on your belt. That doesn't mean don't want it.
Right.
You got to want it still, but I think that just
Don't make it the main focus. Make the journey the main focus.
I think that's
yeah,
great.
and we've had the conversation before. Like it does weirdly magically change something somehow when when you get those pieces of tape on your belt and you get the next belt. But that's just the kind of power of mentality, I think.
Well, it's
right?
because when
And
you
symbolism
look at it,
and-
nobody could take it away from you.
So you
It's
can get on a
there.
really deep level about this, right? Now it's like they talk about human beings and how we are, right? It's always the journey, of getting through something. That's the passion. We always think it's like the end result, but that's why we always get bored with the end result. And we're like, oh, we got to find the next thing.
What's
we
next?
got to, yeah, what's next? It's always the journey. That's like the dopamine, I suppose, for us, like to keep going, and it's like jiu-jitsu. It's the perfect one because it's the abyss of like infinite fucking different directions of
Right.
going in jiu-jitsu. So
right. Are you going to stop when you get that next stripe? No. Are you going to stop when you get your next belt? If you're really into it, no, you're not going to. So that's
can't truly
not the
master it.
destination. Like I said, that isn't your end destination. So I think just focus on what you've been focusing on. And
Yeah, I like the
keep your eyes down the road.
I like the consistency, and I like the don't worry about your belt. Don't worry about
You don't even start learning jiu-jitsu until you're a black belt. So
yeah.
don't even worry about it. Just keep going.
Yeah.
So they say.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I for me
I still don't know shit.
for me
I feel like that constantly.
I would simply
But I
put
do some things.
because like
here and there.
I'm somebody who looks at things and says what's the marker? What's the key performance indicator? Where's the KPI? Like, what do I need to get there? And when it's with jiu-jitsu, it's not really how it works. There's no test. There's no like, well, I guess some schools do have some blue belt tests and different stuff like that.
But reference points.
But right. But for the most part, it's just show up, just listen, try and ask questions, and stay consistent, and don't worry so much about your belt level. I will say though, one thing that bothered me a lot when I was a white belt, and it was something that I knew not to be just because I heard you guys talk about it so much, was don't be that spazzy white belt. It's funny because I've asked this question a lot to people, like even sometimes off camera, and more often than not, people are like, say things like that: consistency, keep it coming, don't stop the grind, stuff like that.
We all know what it takes.
Nobody says don't be as spazzy as you were. Like nobody has said that yet.
I mean, we can do a whole thing on don'ts, right? And we kind of went over a few of them here and there.
Don'ts
I
are
think-
cool.
I think
like
it's
that.
like it's kind of said without being said by saying like, be more patient. Like
I
a lot
really
of
would
people's
like to see that sentence.
be more patient. Oh, fine. Yeah, don't be that spazzy guy. I don't know. The herky jerky dude.
It's more
Just like
it's more along the lines of like allowing
Just ask
yourself
questions. I think, do you know that you came in there not knowing anything, man? Like,
Yeah.
why? What do you got to prove if you can get my shoulders to the mat or whatever it is that you're going for?
Right,
You know what I
get
mean?
to
You
the
don't know
back,
anything yet.
whatever.
Yeah, you don't know anything yet.
that's
So
okay.
ask questions.
That's all they know. I like
Right.
that challenge though.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I you know what I mean though. Like, you don't have to.
But
I don't
that's
know what
different
is
because
your end goal. If you come in there as a spazzy white belt and you're really trying to drive, like,
I don't think wrestlers are.
what do you think
spazzy.
that
So-
like? So the professor's going to slap a blue belt on you on your way out the door or something? Like, I don't understand.
because you are spazzy or not spazzy.
No, because you are like
Well, I think
using too much strength.
Oh, I see what
and
you're saying. Like you come in there and you're
you
like,
got something to
oh,
prove.
I'm gonna
maybe.
show you. Give me my blue belt. Like I came in here, I fucked everybody up for 2 weeks.
that's just an
and-
egomaniac.
It's an
You're
ego,
right.
man.
Like
Yeah,
that.
I wonder the mindset sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's.
I don't have that mindset, so
I've
it's
heard-
hard
I've
for me
heard-
to understand.
I've heard Radji say like,
Yeah,
that's my purple belt, that's my brown belt, and I think that doesn't necessarily mean what they can do in just jiu-jitsu. It means who they are excuse me, mentally.
it's like a respect thing too.
Right. And they've put their time in that environment, which means that they've been polished and the sword has been sharpened by the other swords that he trusts. And that are, examples of or what is it? Stretches of what he is, or duplications of the jiu-jitsu, expressions that are his jiu-jitsu?
Eli,
Mm.
awesome.
Awful. All right, so last question. What would be your advice to a blue belt who just received their promotion? And what advice would you give Sapan?
Okay. Isn't this kind of
I could hear you scratching your feet.
My bad.
It was so good.
Like an Old Spice commercial.
For those of you listening,
I guess
only.
if I'm telling
That's what
Sapan,
that was.
That was my skill.
I guess if I'm telling Sapan, I'm telling every blue belt. But
Yeah, well, that's it could be specific to him. That's why I asked it that way, because it may not be.
Well, to him, I would say, man, keep it up. I think you're really really sticking to the fundamentals. He's got a lot of technique. The way he moves, smooth. He's not, he's not an explosive guy, but everything's technical and he's smooth when he's doing it. And he's getting quick. He's quick to get into positions. I've seen him, I haven't rolled with him in a while, but now we got to roll something. And no, I would just say for him, man, like this point, keep that same philosophy you got going, because you already got a good head on your shoulders as far as like mentality for jiu-jitsu. And blue belt's a long journey, man. That one's long. So just know, just be, if you're in it for the long haul, and you'll know. And this journey, you're just going to enjoy it the whole way through, your ups and plateaus and everything else, because you're just going to have a, end your day in a better way because you went and your camaraderie with your friends and you got your ass kicked, or you kicked some asses, and just know to just have fun again, and to just know that you're going to be better than you were the day before, man. Keep that up. I don't know. I basically would say that to like any blue belt, because like I would say that because that's the right mentality to have, and to have a good jiu-jitsu environment, and training partners. Like, man, there's tons of different personalities, but I think for what we got, that's what works there,
Yeah.
What doesn't work for some people,
It is a long journey, definitely stick with it. That blue belt's going to get nice and white and frayed around the edges, and I would say for me, and I could only speak, from my own personal experiences, when I got my blue belt, I started being more aggressive and moving forward. In white belt, I learned a lot of guard. I think we've had this discussion. I've probably brought it up before, but I just started actively trying to practice my guard passing, my forward moving more, being more aggressive in moving forward instead of working sweeps and counters and attacks from the back. But another thing that I would say, maybe personally for Sapan or for even any other blue belts, but from the answers for his interviews, right? And, I know you're going to listen, so I'll speak directly to you, Sapan. It sounds like from your answers, you've gained a lot of confidence from training and from kind of getting through that challenge of being apprehensive about starting it, and then really falling in love with the sport and realizing that it was a challenge that made you feel good to overcome over and over again. And I would say, to add to that confidence, now offer that knowledge to the beginners who are beneath you now. Be more vocal, help where you can, because now you have that over them, that knowledge, right? And that will help you solidify the techniques in your head. It'll help you become more ingrained in the school itself, and it will help your confidence. When you teach that, it reinforces it for you. Those other students will thank you for it. They'll look up to you for it. And
yeah, that's the only thing I would have added.
Yeah,
just piggyback what he said.
That's
to
really,
start
really good point.
As a blue belt. Now, no, it's
congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, man, congrats.
It's on you to start teaching more to your fellow students. I think that's just going to leaps and bounds help your game grow even further, just for doing that, because you're going to be articulating to other people. Mm-hmm. So you're automatically articulating it out loud for yourself to even understand what you're doing more so than you even realized.
Yeah.
Through repetition.
You like level up when you show somebody something.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to admit that you don't know. I mean, all the time, right? A white belt or a blue belt ask me a question. I don't know. I mean, if I don't know, but I know who does know, and I'll call over Ed or call over the professor or whoever, and we're all going to have different levels of comfortability with teaching others and kind of interacting with people. But I just think that it's a great way, like you said, to level up. And yeah.
One thing I've definitely learned here early in blue belt is that you gotta learn how to dance, swim, flow, whatever adjective you want to add to it. You have to learn how to go with others and be free flowing. Let energy move in the direction that it's going. Don't fight against the current and start to allow freedom, a wavelength, a vibration. Like, don't be stagnant. Don't sit there and try to create this this force for no reason and exertion that isn't going to do anything for you. Look at the space you're in. Take the time. And if you have to tap early, tap often. Who cares? Especially when you're being choked out. Don't let your arteries get all what's the word? Calcified or whatever it is called. When you get choked out too much, basically there's studies showing that the blood starts to harden in the arteries, and over time that could lead to stroke.
You mean if you pass out, you're talking about?
No, even if
your arteries hardening, I thought it was from just like cumulative constriction of blood to the brain.
It's from the arteries actually hardening.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're doing a choke and you're getting choked out and like you're sitting there on the brink and you're barely getting oxygen,
that's what I'm saying. Like you're about to go out or you pass out. That's really bad.
Yep. Sure. If somebody gets you, let go. Just tap. No, restart. Keep learning. Keep moving forward. Radji says that he doesn't really like that phrase. You never lose. It's always winning or learning. He says it. No, there's losing, but you got to learn from those losses too. Like, so it's okay to lose. Losing is the partner to success.
Well, it's like failure's our best teacher. That's the whole point of it. It's like it's silly to like.
It's so cliche, but it's true.
Well, it's silly not to acknowledge why you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm just gonna ignore the fact that it's like you either win or you learn, or are you learning because you're a failure? That's it.
Yeah.
Why are we sugarcoating shit these days?
So
I'm tired of that shit.
Just want to add one last thing. Again, this was we did the advanced belt reflection, and we also did Ed Talk. This is what we're about, guys. This is what we want to do. Anybody who listens, anybody who is involved,
and grow the community. And
exactly.
Boom.
That's what we want to do. You got questions? You want us to talk about things?
We're not going to have a lot of them, but
just reach out. Reach out. What's that?
Answers.
Oh, answers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie will try. Eddie will try.
No, that's on you guys too. You gotta try to answer some fucking life questions.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, we
ain't
we get in there. We get in there. We get in the trenches with you.
You're the only one who can answer questions.
It is called Ed Talk.
It's called Ed Talk permanently.
That's a show now. The whole show's just Ed Talk.
Yeah.
We're no longer adaptive.
Well, this has been episode 12 of Ed Talk. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Formerly known as the Adaptive Podcast. Tonight, we congratulated Sapan with a really great interview conducted by Eli on the mat for Eli's awesome mat interviews and advanced belt reflections. Congrats again, my friend. Awesome. You really earned it. For everybody joining us live, you're amazing. Thank you for commenting. We really, really love it. GB is bringing up a topic for next time, Japanese versus Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe next time we talk about that. I'm going to have to do some studying. I don't really know too many of the nuanced differences between them. So that's a pretty cool topic. So yeah, if you guys can subscribe, leave a comment below in the comment section, not just here in the live, but if you comment below in YouTube, it will kind of help YouTube circulate our videos and get other people who are interested to check us out and, maybe bring them into the gym to train with us. Sweet. So yeah, again, go to our website, check us out. We have new rash cards. We love it for you. If you bought one from us before, we have discount codes waiting for you to give you a large.
Long sleeves now.
We got long sleeves now. They look really great.
White and black.
White and black. They're a spandex polyester blend. Really high performance stuff here. They're comfortable, dry fit, great stuff.
What are we with? $40? $40 for short sleeves.
40 for short sleeve. 45 for long sleeves. You can either ship them to any location within the United States, or you can pick them up at the gym. just place those orders online and we'll have everything ready for you. Again, thank you for supporting the Adaptive Podcast. We love you guys. We will see you next week. Adapt or get tapped.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna take a shit now.
Oh my God.
I've gone and done it.